all within the building codes of the hollow. You can go right across the street there, and I don't know what that height is of that two-story structure across the street. But there are two-story structures everywhere. So the fact that you happen to live next door, how is that different than someone on the other side of you decides to remodel their home and add a second floor or expanding their family? So I think, again, rather than being naysayers and trying to pick apart every little, word and every, intent, as if this board has some malfeasance in wanting to upset the community. Can we just not kind of look at this thing positively and just see how the entire community benefits? And even those outside the Sleepy Hollow boundaries are going to benefit immensely. They will, I believe, be invited to participate in the facilities of the new emergency shelter. Now, whether they choose to or not is up to them. So, if in fact it is a democracy, then let's have a vote and let majority rule. Thank you very much.
You raised a lot of good points. And when we started this, I really thought, oh, we'll just have a little community agreement here and we'll come up with a project, everything will be fine. But that's not what's happened. And I don't think we're there yet. As I said, I think we have 4 different projects, and I think there's pretty substantial disagreement about which project we should be doing and how much of it. I would like to go through just a little bit of what has been presented as the budget and to recommend to you that there's a problem here. It has been stated that the soft costs would be 25 to 35% of the 2.5 million. And in those soft costs are furniture and equipment, disaster recovery supplies, construction permit fees, utility hookup fees, architect and engineer fees, project contingency fees, theoretically legal fees. That doesn't leave a very well-supplied community emergency center.
Can I interrupt just for a second?
Yes.
I don't know what document that is. It didn't come from us.
That's the charitable foundation's
Oh, well,
breakdown of the project.
Then you might want to talk to them about that. That's not our document. I haven't examined it.
One of the things in your documents that I think it would be good to clear up is, this was April 6th, emergency features. You stated that the dormitory, this would be a dormitory area for firefighters. So are we having residents or are we having a dormitory for firefighters? Mr. Grove has raised a very good point. Access can be a problem. I know Granges, I know community centers, and I remember the World War II sirens. It was good to have a place where you could get someplace where you felt safe. I'm not sure this is it. And I think you need to be sure that when you're talking about the whole area, people are going to be able to get here and are going to benefit from it. Because the programs that you have invested in, which is for example, the national specialized training, that doesn't take place here. Your donations to the national and firefighting places, they're not here. The chipper, the TAM, the Y2W, the vegetative crews, the roads, the fire flow, the schools and churches, like the Presbyterian Church, said, well, we'd love to help you in a fire or in some type of emergency, but we'd like to talk about working on that. I don't think anything was ever done with funds for that. I think it would be an alternative site. Just let me keep rolling here, Frank, I'll lose it. The newsletter, the website, CAL Fire Fund, Fire Flow loans, the manual, all of the informational things that you're talking about, those don't take building. Now, the JPA expenses, we do pay for the Ross Valley Paramedic and Fire Districts. So our money, some portion of our money, is actually going into the JPA services. Those don't take the building. And yet we're required to pay them, and our money is being used for it. So I ask that you consider all these things and think about whether 80% is really appropriate. Because there's a lot of other things, and I haven't gone into the equipment. The equipment that comes in here, the paramedics, the fire trucks, that's the JPA. But if there's need for a new one, they ask for funds, and you authorize them funds. The funds come from us. Well, that's equipment that serves us. That's a public benefit that serves us. And if we went through proportionally and we broke out the JPA benefits, okay, who has more paramedic costs? Has that been done? Are we getting a fair return for that, or do we need to put more money in that, or even less? I know you allocated proportionally. I've seen the breakdowns, and when Ross came in, and I saw that. But these things need to be considered, not just a set. At the Sleepy Hollow homeowners, it was up to $2 million. But you are saying, bang, $2 million, $2 million, $2 million, $2 million. Could we please go back to up to $2 million and really look at it and make sure that's appropriate? Because there are other things on which we could be spending that money.
There's a couple of comments. Rich, can I open it? Yeah, it's difficult to know where to start with that. There's so much misinformation in that comment. I'm sorry, it's not going to be a dormitory for firefighters. The idea was that if we ever had a conflagration out here and the firefighters needed a place to bed down while they're out here on service and there was room for them, the county said, could we use it for that purpose? We're not going to say no to that. If you got a group of tired firefighters who need a place to bed down for a night before they go back out on the fire lines to protect us, so it's not a dormitory, okay? Rich, maybe I should just stop.
I appreciate the comments.
Yeah, really what it comes down to is, it's a, look, it comes down to a policy dispute. If you don't like what we're proposing to do, then ultimately you have a recourse. You run for the fire board, and you get on the fire board, and you pursue the project you want to pursue. All right, next person. Bruce.
Yeah, one last question. You mentioned that the fire district's going to have an office here and they'll have some place to go. Does that mean it's going to be staffed?
No.
5 days?
No.
So how do we get, I kind of missed something there where we come here to get information anytime it's always going to be available to us.
This is where we store our files. Now they're in my bedroom.
I get the file part, but we don't get questions answered if nobody's here.
If you, well,
Telephone.
yeah, you can contact us and arrange to meet, and we'll arrange to meet with you here. Or we'll put materials out in where you can get them if it's something like that. Think of it like a professor's office hours at a university. Okay, that's probably more accurate.
Thanks.
We'll be there from time to time, but no, we're not staff the office. We have other things to do in our office. So, Bob.
Does the fire district plan on training programs that would benefit the community? For instance, CPR, or what to do if someone has a heart attack, that kind of thing? Would those sessions be held in the new facility?
Yes, that and many more. And
I think that's a good thing for the whole community. Let's do it.
Amen. Bob.
My point about bringing up a 27-foot atrium living room is, I support the idea of a new building here that suits your purposes and can encompass many things. My question to you, I guess, is it even conceivable, is it possible for you guys to say, there are some people in the community, a minority, who think this project as it's designed is extravagant? Towers, bocce ball courts, 27-foot ceiling. It's superfluous to the fire district's purposes and needs. And we've decided, well, we're not going to give you $2 million. But I wonder where $2 million came from. Why did you offer $3 million? But that's a separate story. And so we've changed our mind. too extravagant. We'll give you $1 million, and you'll have to scale down your, some people consider a superfluous aspects of the project. And yet we still want for $1 million the same stuff, which is not very much. 560 feet of storage office space is not extravagant. And I think could be better in a scaled down version of a very attractive and useful center.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I'm going to make a resolution that the district authorize its council to begin work on a draft of a letter of intent to be presented to the Homes Association. That includes, among other things, terms such as the description of the premises, the term of the arrangements, the amount of rent or other payments that might be due, maintenance, repair, and service obligations, key conditions and other protections, and this is with respect to the use agreement. And then with respect to the funding agreement, that provisions be made for the disbursement of funds on a back-end loaded milestones type basis, giving the district the liberty to withdraw from the project if the milestones aren't met or if costs are excessive, and that, among other things, that the Homes Association apply a competitive bidding process to the entire project. And I'd ask if we could have council prepare such a letter at the earliest possible convenience for presentation to the board for review and comment, and then once approved for presentation to the Homes Association, the ball will then be in their court to comment on it and to see where we stand in terms of our respective expectations.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. With that, I think we can declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Chipper Day, new website, check it all out. Okay.
Sorry. Oh, no, you're right. I forgot. 200,000. Well, you have to drive a long day.